Hello YouTube, hello my dear hamsterlings. We are probably live because OBS tells me we are alive, and Diablo 4 is now telling me to reap benefits from the tree. I have absolutely zero idea what that means. Like, reap benefits from the tree. Like, I assume there is a tree somewhere in the game from which you can like earn bonus gifts from that tree somehow. Like, how do you earn gifts from of the tree? Like, is that like a treant? Can you talk to the treant and like do quests for him and he gives you gifts? Is that what happens? I have zero idea. I have absolutely zero idea what that is about, because I had finished Act 1 and Act 2, and today we will be heading to Act 3. Maybe the tree is in Act 3. Maybe the tree is in the post game, is in the end game after you complete the whole story. Maybe. I don't know. I have absolutely zero idea what the game is telling me here. So, I am probably not going to reap benefits from the tree. Like, if anyone knows what the tree is about, like, and if it's like a huge story spoiler, don't tell me. But if it's like, no, at the end game, after you finish the whole story, you just go to a place. The tree is a spoiler, but yes, it's like finish X activities that grant points to get a reward cache. Okay, so it's a spoiler that isn't a spoiler. Okay, and I don't know if I like noticed this before, but like, is this symbol? Is this a Spiritborn symbol, or is this Eternal Server symbol? Because like, I don't know what the game in several places shows me icons to like tell me like this item is only for those classes, and there are those tiny icons that like if they were those icons were a little bigger, maybe I would be able to tell them apart and know what classes they mean. Or if I knew the game more, if I had played more classes, maybe I would also know. But also, I don't know what's the Spiritborn symbol. Is this the Spiritborn symbol here? The symbol next to Eternal is the symbol for Eternal. The symbol next to your face is my class symbol. This is the Spiritborn class symbol. I guess there's like a cat face. There's like a person face, and the cat on top of the person face. So is it like supposed to be like a Spiritborn wearing a cat as a hat? And why am I not wearing a cat as a hat? Like, I should. Can I get a cat hat somewhere in the game? Just tell me if I can get a cat hat somewhere in the game, and if it's not for like platinum. If I press create new character, it will show me all the class symbols. Yeah, I could. Oh yeah, these. So like Warlock is like a horned hood. The paladin symbol is very similar to the Eternal symbol. Yeah, Spiritborn. It's a person wearing a cat as a hat. So like, you have to tell me if I can get a cat as a hat without paying money for it. This is what I have to know. A barbarian is just, the barbarian is pretty easy to guess. It's just a horned helmet, because barbarians wear horned helmets. So that's pretty easy to guess. Sorcerer is a fire in a triangle. Necromancer is the one with the skull. Druid I knew. Druid I guessed correctly. That's a big boy. I'll have to play Druid someday. The barbarian wears pants. Okay. By barbarian wears pants. Okay. And the rogue is like a dagger inside a bow. Like, it looks like you're shooting the dagger, out of the bow. Like, I don't think that's very your barbarian wears pants, okay? I don't think shooting a dagger out of your bow is very practical. So like, I don't think that's what you should be doing with your dagger or with your bow. But yeah, we on the last stream, the last bonus stream on Tuesday, we did a bunch of side quests in what's it called, Skosglen, because I felt like it ran too quickly. You know what I was expecting? You know what I was expecting from Skosglen? It's like League when you shoot Infinity Edge, Immortal Shield Bow, or even a whole ass staff from your gun, okay? But you know what I expected from Skosglen? When they like very first reveal of Diablo IV on some BlizzCon on some year, they did that like whole scene where you like wake up in this like crypt crawling with undead, and they were playing a druid in that preview, and the druid is running through that dungeon full of undead, would like crawl out of a hole in the ground or something, and you go through this. And I was expecting to experience that somewhere in Skosglen, but unless I completely missed like another side quest somewhere, that never happened. So like, did they cut that whole story from Skosglen? Or like, I don't know what happened to it. Like often you see stuff in those early previews that then gets cut from the final game, and so like it ends up looking a lot like false advertising. I don't know if I should be opening inventory. Map is loading faster today. Do we have no waypoint closer to Lorath? No, we don't. I don't think. No, this is all Skosglen. Like, I still haven't been to like this whole part of Skosglen, so maybe that's where the whole bit from the early BlizzCon demo happens. But I think I have done enough of Skosglen for now, and like maybe there's a part of the game when you return to this place later, or maybe I will like explore it later at some point, and then I will get to that. It still isn't midnight. What just happened? Oh, there's a healer. I clicked on the healer and it healed me. So like there is still like time to the official beginning of the stream, so we could just do something. Like I have been talking in previous streams about like how quick the leveling feels, and like I feel like at this, like, it's Act 2 out of what, six? And what's the max? What's the max level? Level like 70, 80? Like, tell me what is the max level in the game? So it's like it feels like there's a very high level for this early in the game. It feels like in WoW, nowadays when you're just 70, yeah. So 48. So I'm more than halfway through the leveling. Like it feels like it's very high level for where I am in the game. Like I haven't done that many side quests or like extra content to be leveled up that much. So I don't know what that is about. What does the alchemist do now? Chat is covering this window. Enrich scrap. It creates. No, transmute 10 veiled crystals. Transmute 100 iron chunks into 10 veiled crystal. Okay, so it just does transmutation. Crafting materials. Obducite.
I'm missing materials.
But what are the materials? I just want to check what the materials are. and you're not letting me. And I don't know what Ubdu site is. The funny answer is 300. I don't know what was. I have a very short-term memory. I forgot what the funny answer 300 is too. I guess we can put on the horse. We got our fish horse now, who's also armored. It's used for masterworking. Okay. 300 paragon levels. Oh yeah, the paragon levels. So I guess I'll be getting into the paragon levels before I finish the game. Oh, I'm like super pumped by these shrines. So I guess I'll be doing those paragon levels before I finish the game. You did reach 70 only in Scopus, but you were also not doing all the side quests. Like, I'm not doing like all the side quests, but I'm doing a few. Okay, hello. I need to pay more attention. I just need to pay more attention in general, because it turns out, like, I like missed big bits of Dune Messiah, and that may explain why I wasn't so interested in it, because I missed some big bits of the story. Because, like, I don't know, I was listening to it, but I guess I got distracted by something when some of the important things were said.
You seem to know your way around here. Is it true?
It's not a side quest I picked up.
Imagine all the knowledge held in one place. The secrets it could reveal.
What are you doing here, just standing by the road in the middle of nowhere? And it's Arya, so she's probably here to kill the Night King.
Scholar of Druidic studies, at your service. I'm on my way to Turdalra.
She's probably looking for to steal the kill of the Night King from Jon Snow.
I'll make it worth your while.
What did you want me to do? I was trying to click on the thing, the traveling scholar. What do you want me to do? Go here. Take Arya to the ruins. Okay, I can do that.
I am out of vigor.
It's nothing too crazy yet. I have reached my destination, have I? I don't see anything. Oh, that's where she wants to be. Okay. I still don't hear myself sometimes when the real fighting starts. Okay,
Seems like grave robbers got here long before we did. Let's do one last search.
so it's like very disorienting, trying to talk when you can't hear yourself. Do I have to do a dungeon for you, lady? Because I was heading out of the area. I was heading out of the zone, and I picked you up because we were almost there. I picked you up because we were almost there, because you were just in the way, and the objective was right next to me. That's why I picked you up, lady. And now you expect me to start running around and do this like dead end. Now show the carving to her, like, okay, so just run around, run back around. Okay, that's very engaging gameplay, Blizzard. Thank you. A rotten stump. Like, I may be to the smaller degree a victim of the same like attention span issues as like the modern generations are. Like, I hope it is to a smaller degree, because I also find myself finding harder to concentrate on things because of how everything on the internet just kind of, I forgot the word, how it like prepares you, like it tunes you to just consume everything in very short bits, so it's harder to concentrate when you have to
You've a keen eye.
do some longer
It's a talisman,
bits.
a focus.
It primes
See
you
the face? A
for
fox
these
or a
very
bird.
short,
Druids
to
learn
consume
shape
everything in these very
use these to
short
focus
bits.
their power. Now, there's one last stop I'd like to make before Turdalra.
Okay. Update is available. Why did you have to update now? No, I'm not updating now. I'm not updating now. I'm finishing the stream, and I hope I can finish the stream without it. Avoid interruptions.
I don't have enough vigor.
This is an interruption if I stop now. So I hope I can finish without this update. Okay, speak to Arya.
I knew having a companion would be beneficial. What if I'd been alone?
If the Blizzard, if the game kicks me out in the middle of the stream, and then I have to wait for half an hour for the game to start updating, as it does.
I need more vigor.
Thank you for your aid. And look, Turdalra isn't far off. Maybe I'll see you there if you have the time.
Rage told Blizzard you're streaming, so they pushed out an update. Yeah, like I hope it doesn't. The game won't like kick me out, because that will be super annoying. I want to at least finish the stream. Yeah, like if anyone random is watching and like they're wondering what we're talking about, like we have this running joke. I've joked before that, and now I'm not tracking the main quest. We have this running joke that one of our friends playing with us that he, because I've joked that we have a Blizzard lurker, because I have a lot of ideas. I'm having a lot of ideas that then get actually implemented into the games or into the lore, like very soon after I do them. Like there's still the most like prolific example of that. The most prolific example of that was my old Draenor map. Like years and years ago, I did this map of what the Draenor looked like before the Dark Portal. The map was about like 60 years before the Dark Portal, something like that. And I made a whole bunch of zones. And like very shortly after I finished and published that map, and it got some recognition. Like people liked it. People talked about the map. People talked about that map. So like it got some recognition. And very shortly after that, Blizzard announces Warlords of Draenor. Dry steps. Just walked into the zone, and there's a town right there. Okay. So like very shortly after that, Warlords of Draenor gets announced, and get this, like there are some there's some of the zones obviously don't make sense, but like some of the parts of the map like genuinely look a lot like my map. Like imagine this, like I added a zone related to the Arakoa to the south of Terrokar Forest. I added a zone, I called it Darksworn Weld, or Weald, like, you know, Weald. The update is a hotfix. They changed endgame stuff, so I should be fine. Okay.
My skill is unmatched. You'll see. Plenty worth keeping.
Spirit of Aideen. We talked about this name. Spirit of Aideen. So I'm not gonna dismantle the Spirit of Aideen quite yet, because it feels rude. I can't use it, but like it feels rude. Like disenchant her spirit. Aideen, yeah. The Spirit of Aideen. So yeah, like that map, yeah. I published that map, and very shortly after I published that map, Blizzard announces Warlords of Draenor, and like I made this whole zone. I called Darksworn Weald, and it was supposed to be a whole zone related to the Arakoa, and on my map, I included I included. Okay, what's happening? On this map, I included Sketis, as part of this new zone. Like I moved it from Terrakar Forest to the Darksworn Weald, and the Darksworn Weald on my map had this triangular shape. It has this triangular shape with a tiny island near it. So guess what they did in Warlords of Draenor? They added Spires of Arak south of the renamed Terrakar Forest, and they have this very triangular shape with originally a tiny island next to it. And they moved Sketis to be in that zone instead of Talador, the renamed Terrakar Forest. Like I mostly joke about the Blizzard Lurker, okay? I mostly joke, but you cannot convince me that Spires of Arak weren't taken straight from my map. You cannot convince me about that. I am absolutely convinced that they actually invented the Spires of Arak. You cannot convince me otherwise. I mean, I am flattered. Okay, like I am in no position to make an MMO or even a single player RPG. I am in no position to make that. And I know that there are like indie producers, like single person who makes an RPG, but those people have already have years of experience. They already have years of experience, years of training. And they say like, oh, I made this game in a year or like in half a year. But yeah, if you count just the game itself, then you have made it in a year. But if you count all the time you spent in your life to learn this stuff, which I haven't, then it takes a lot more time. I don't have all those skills. I have not learned all of that. So I would need a lot more time to make an RPG. And I don't have time now at this point in my life to like be learning a whole new branches of skills. So I am in no position to make RPGs or MMOs. Like like if I like win a lottery someday and suddenly I have disposable millions somehow, then I can hire people. Then I can hire people and tell them like make this and this game, and then I will be in a position to make an RPG. We get rich from streaming and book sales, and we hire our own studio. Yeah, sure, I'm sure that will happen.
It's my sons, Auden and Kada. They used to work here with me in Kedbadu, but then they got it in their heads to set up a new shop in Chirandai. You know how young men get when they're of age, desperate to prove themselves. If you are headed that way, would you?
So I guess this is a more Kyrgyzstani area. Kyrgyzstani.
I haven't heard from them in
But yeah, like I'm in no position to make an RPG.
Look into it.
To make it like a single player RPG or an MMO. I'm in no position for that. So, you know, when if Blizzard really did steal the Spires of Iraq from me, I am flattered. I'm not gonna sue them for it. I'm not gonna sue them for it because I also don't have money to sue them. I'm not gonna sue them for it. I'm not gonna badmouth them like I say, oh, they stole from me. Like if they did, and I'm convinced, I am genuinely convinced that they did steal the Spires of Iraq from my map. If they did, I am flattered. But you know, like since then, it has happened multiple times, and I cannot quote every time to you because I don't remember every time that I've noticed something like that. That when I did something, and then shortly Blizzard does it. I have joked since then multiple times.
Nosy, are we?
I have joked since then multiple times that
My mentor says that we can be of great help.
technically, even if you made the map, it's still their IP. Yeah, but like intellectual property law is very complicated. Like it's very weird and it's very complicated. So like the way I understand it, I am not a lawyer, so this is not legal advice. I am not a lawyer. My layman's understanding is that if I make a map of Draenor, and I add pieces to that map of Draenor, I add pieces that I invented to that map of Draenor, the pieces, like the basic idea of the pieces belongs to Blizzard. The whole map, as an artist, the image I made, all of the image belongs to me. But I can't really commercialize it. I shouldn't normally be able to commercialize it because it is derived very strongly from their intellectual property. But any bits I add to their map, even if it says that it's Draenor, if that bit is not on their maps, that bit belongs to me completely, and I can do whatever I want with it. And you know, if I tried to commercialize, if I tried to make benefit financially from the Darksworn world, now I could run into an issue. Because if I tried to sell maps of the Darksworn world now, I'm not going to do that because that's a very old map. Nobody's going to buy that. But if I did try to sell maps of the Darksworn world now, Blizzard lawyers could get on my ass because it looks so similar to their map. And then I would have to go to a what's it called, to a trial, and on the trial I would have to prove that I made the zone first, that my map was older than theirs. But I'd have to go into a trial, have to fight them for it if I tried to do that. I'm not sure how well Blizzard does with stolen art, but maybe if you would reach out and ask, yo, did you take a rack from my map? They might even have the people employed who remember. Like, I don't think they would admit it. Like, I don't think they would admit it. Like, they would probably say, like, oh, we had a very similar idea at the same time. And, like, in most cases, I agree. Like, I joke that I have this Blizzard lurker who steals my ideas and gives them to Blizzard. In most cases, in vast majority of cases, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. And it's just an accident because, like, people who think about similar things at the same time get similar ideas. So, like, we get the similar ideas at the same time, only they have more money, so they can use that money to actually put those ideas into life faster and better than I can. No, but I am genuinely convinced that Spires of Arak were taken straight from my map and just named something that they wanted, did something different. I'm not going to sue them, and I'm not going to try to profit off of Darksworn wealth because nobody's going to give a shit about it. But if I did, I would run into legal issues. Because it looks so similar to their version, even if I originally made it.
I see. I will take it from here. Who are you?
But you know, we joke about this Blizzard lurker because it happens all the time. So we as our small tiny community, somehow we decided that the Ragey is the Blizzard mole. Somehow we decided that he's the person. Because, like, I was going to say I don't remember why or how we decided that, but I remember now because, like, it happened multiple times that Ragey was, like, unable to come to the game, was unable to come to our games, like, right around the time when there was a BlizzCon or, like, some big Blizzard event, and always at the same exact time. So we joked that he was actually, like, that he was actually on the panels, that he was doing something, like he was working on BlizzCon, and that's why he was unable to come to the games. Like, I don't think Blizzard is doing anything right now. I don't think they're doing anything right now. But Ragey is, like, on a vacation. Like, I mean, who knows? Maybe in, like, 2 years we find out that right at this time Blizzard was doing, like, research, actual research, on the ground research for the Last Titan at this time, and the joke will return. Like, it would be funny if that happened.
You told me to meet you here, Lorath. Remember?
Of course I remember. I'm just surprised you're not dead. Hand me that bottle.
What happened to you?
Do you really need the bottle?
I was sad, obviously.
Climbing random mountains in Canada.
Quantities of alcohol, wielded by my own treacherous hand. There may also have been a brawl with the goats.
Like, if I find out that, like, right at this week, Blizzard was actually doing research for Storm Peaks to like make Storm Peaks in the Last Titan,
The Pale Man is.
I'm going to be a little bit suspicious.
That you must know him.
I thought I did once. His name is Elias. He was my apprentice. He was the one who brought Lilith to Sanctuary. It's possible that I did not take the news very well.
What must we do then?
Find him. Figure out what he's done. And then kill him. Listen. There's a woman here someplace. She has some messages we'll need. And I'm of no use to anyone right now. Could you find her? Enough time has been wasted. Check around the
Alright.
inn.
Lorath has become a very sad man since Diablo 3. Why can't I break these crates? Like, come on, why do you always turn off my weapons in town? Like, it's not like I'm gonna murder all the civilians. The civilians are probably, like, super immune to everything anyway. So it's I'm not gonna be able to murder them all. And just walking around town. Who is this? Tekran. Lorath sent me. Have you heard from the Orbai? Orbay? I'm gonna say Orbai. To update, close the game and download the latest. No game. I'm not going to close the game right now. Lorath sent me. Have you heard from the Orbai monastery? I'm gonna go with Orbai monastery.
No word from Orbe. Same as yesterday and the day before. But
Why Orbai like?
rumor has it a pale man passed
Well,
through
I
your
mean,
canyon
you could argue
fearsome fellow.
that this place doesn't look very German. So I can hear you arguing.
I wager he'll want to know.
Why would you pronounce it German? Because I can. That's why. Okay, now I'm gonna return to update Lorath here. Okay, sure, but might do that as well. Just go back and forth through town. Yeah, just get a really good sightseeing tour through town. You getting any better, Lorath? I bore witness to Lilith's evil in Skosglen.
Oh, Donan. The poor fool never could have guessed that Lilith would come for Astaroth, let alone offer his boy to it. But what does she
Because
want?
Germany and dry steppes have a lot in common.
Astaroth hails from
Dry
beyond the
steppes,
hatred.
Germans. I don't think I get this one. Are you saying like that they don't? Dry because what? Because it sounds like 3. Is that it? I mean, I have titled the stream like, do you know any steps that aren't dry?
Inara's
Like this is
pity.
this is a very weird name, isn't it?
Had he not moved
Dry
fast,
steps.
Lilith might have been stopped, but now she has the
It's
key to
sarcasm.
hell.
Okay. I mean, I see a digraph that is like EI. I see a digraph like that, and my brain just automatically goes German. I mean, my brain is just like my brain goes German more often than it does not, by which mean I like somewhat autistic. So my brain goes to German more often than not. But when I see EI, a digraph, EI digraph, I automatically, my brain just reads I, like the German version.
Strange. I wrote to the Obey Monastery the day I arrived. The abbot should have replied by now.
Tekran spoke of a rumor. A pale man is seen near the canyons.
I
The
mean,
canyons. Why
I
did
mean,
he
you
say-
could have
We go at once.
Germans on the steps. Like, who knows? Maybe in this universe they won the Lebensraum.
All go to the monastery.
That could have also happened. But this place does not look very German. I agree. So like maybe I should be like polishing up my Turkish pronunciation. Okay. Now this Act 3 has 2 quests I can go to. So I'm gonna take this one first, but there's also a side quest. And an armory. What does the armory do? On this waypoint, this is a waypoint that I haven't picked up. But you know, Dry Steps is a very weird name. Because like, do you know any steps that aren't dry? Like, the steps are dry by definition. Like so, dry steppes. A zone called the dry steppes is like a zone called the WotC. Like, can you imagine going to the WotC? Like, you have to sail the WotC. Everyone would be on that one. But you know, Americans are not taught any geography. Americans are not taught any geography, so they don't pick up that stuff. What if Blizzard misspelled dry steppes? I don't see any stepping here either, so I'm not sure about that. No, but Americans aren't taught any geography. And like just today, I saw a post on Reddit that was going like, I'm going backpacking. I'm going backpacking through Europe soon, and I want to know what other mythologies are there. What other mythologies are there besides Roman and Italian? That's what he said. What other mythologies are there besides Roman and Italian? First off, Rome is in Italy. Okay. Second off, like, it's Europe. I know this is not like physically huge, but there's like thousands of years of history. And you expect to just get like, what other mythologies? And there's dozens, hundreds of like mythologies. I'm not leaving, I'm killing enemies for loot. I did leave a comment on that post, and I wasn't rude. I wasn't rude in that comment. Like, I wanted to say like, what do you think? It's Europe. How many mythologies do you expect to find? Like, yeah, it's old. Like, there are pubs in England that are older than the United States. Like, every time it comes up, there's some British dude that comes up. The pub I go to is older than United States. Because they got pubs that were that started in like 17th, 18th century. Like, I did leave a helpful comment. And I did leave a helpful comment under that post. And I told them like there's like a lot of history there, and you would find the local brewery is about 1,000 years old. Yeah. Is that the brewer? Is that the same brewery that we actually like kind of diverted in our game when we were in Bohemia in our game? Is that the brewery that we caught this dude that was supposed? No, that was the one that wasn't supposed to be in your town. That was the one that wasn't supposed, because we caught the dude who was supposed to go like start the Pilsner brewery in the other part of Bohemia. We caught that dude. And we diverted him to your hometown. So now you got what's essentially Pilsner in our game's universe. You got what's essentially Pilsner, but now it's in your town. That's the kind of fun stuff that you can do when you are playing an RPG in historical and semi-historical Europe. Okay, that horse just exploded when I got here. Yeah, glory to your town, indeed. Lorath, you sobered up a little. What have you found?
I had hoped to find a witness who saw Elias. Instead, I have a camp of dead merchants. They were slaughtered by demons, that much is plain. But none was summoned here. We should search the canyons.
Could Elias have summoned these
You
demons?
also heavily invested in the construction of your castle, yeah. We did that. We did that, too.
Stay close to me.
We should have gotten like some mission that would go to Pomerania on screen, because Pomerania at this point in time isn't really Polish. It's like even when we were in Poland, we never really got to the Pomerania because it wasn't really Polish at the point in time when we are. Because we are in like 12th century AD.
I need more vigor.
We're in like 12th century AD. So it's like 1180. I always forget which year it is exactly in the game. It's like 1186, 80. I think it's 1186. $1186, yes. I was correct. It's like it's 11 currently. It's 1186 in our game. It's like a lot of stuff is different. And you know what's like this is what's fun about playing in a semi-historical Europe setting in the Middle Ages, because you can like do stuff like that, like alter the history of a place you're actually from. And I was saying that like we should have gotten, before we really left Europe, we should have gotten like a story that was set in Pomerania, so that we could also like alter the history of my hometown.
I hear a stone carver lives in that house. A man called Genvar. It's hidden, isolated. Perfect for working in solitude.
No, I
Reminds
think
me of your house.
But now, instead of like doing constant, we've been doing like Europe and bits of Middle East for years at this point. So I decided to move away from Europe a little bit. And like mostly leave Europe, like do more of the world. So now what we're doing is right now is West Africa. Yossar will not beating Joan of Arc the Paladin. You know, I have said that like there is a high chance that our game will eventually turn into Doctor Who. So there is a high chance that like eventually, after I go through like who knows how many of the plot threads I had imagined, we just start going time traveling. And if we start going time traveling to like different like alternate versions of history, like we might like go to a 15th century where the 100 Years' War is happening, or we might go to a version of the 18th century when Benjamin Franklin is in France, and turns out in our version Benjamin Franklin is a wizard. You know, like that could happen someday, one day. There's a high chance that it will happen. But you know, we got a lot of stuff we can still see all over the world.
I will close it. Put them down.
So right now what we're doing is West Africa. And you know what the thing? about trying to do a semi-historical West Africa in 12th century. The historical sources, at least the ones I have access to, are absolutely shit.
Far too easy. These demons were vermin. I'd expect more from a mage of Elias's ability. Let's search the house.
I know that an update is available, game. I know. You can stop telling me about it. I am not leaving the game unless I have to, because I am on a stream. So I'm not leaving now. So no, historical sources for Africa at this point in time are absolutely shit. I have to actually focus on telling this. So like stop playing for a second. When I was researching like the basics for the stuff that we're doing right now, the stuff with Oranmian and Moremi, when I was doing the basic research for this, like to like start like setting up the story, setting up like the basic framework of what we're doing, like I found out that Oranmian, like he's like a very popular like folk hero, culture hero in the Yoruba lands in Nigeria. I found out that he was like very popular, and he has supposedly founded like a dozen towns all over Nigeria. He either founded those towns or he conquered those towns. Only I don't remember like the name of his father or grandfather at this point, but like he lived like right around this time in history, according to the sources that I found. Oranmian lived like right around the second half of the 12th century AD. Only his wife, Moremi Ajasoro, who was famous for a story about her son, where she went to spy on this other town nearby, and to spy better she was supposed to sacrifice her son to the river god Esinmirin. So Moremi was supposed to be the wife of Oranmian. Only like Oranmian is supposed to live around 12th century, late 12th century. But Moremi is supposed to live around 13th century, maybe even late 13th century. Now Oranmian's father, I want to say, lived around like 10th century. A character who was supposed to be Oranmian's father lived around like 10th century. Oranmian, so like his father lived like 200 years before him. His wife lived 100 years after him. So like something is weird there. Either nobody has done any proper research to like try to place these people somewhere specific in history, or all of these people are made up. Or like Oranmian was like a title. Oranmian was a title. Like whenever a dude like conquered or founded a town, he would say, "I am Oranmian," and it was like a dozen different people throughout history. It was a dozen different people who lived at different points in time, and they were all calling themselves Oranmian. But now history forgot that, and we got this Oranmian mentioned like throughout centuries. We got this Oranmian mentioned throughout centuries, and now we can't make any sense of when this supposed Oranmian figure actually lived. Another fun story about Oranmian. There is a story about him arguing with his brother like Oranmian supposedly ruled mostly from Ile-Ife. Sorry to interrupt your rambling about history, but I finally realized why I called your character Joanna yesterday. It's a name of one of your linguists. Okay. Oranmian mostly ruled from Ile-Ife. To the best of my research, Oranmian ruled mostly from Ile-Ife. But at one point he sends his brother to the city of Oyo. He sends his brother to the city of Oyo. And they have an argument about the city of Oyo. But then it turns out that the guy who was sent to Oyo,
Tread carefully. Elias could still be close.
that the guy who was sent to Oyo actually was his son, and it was his son arguing with his brother about the town of Oyo. But also there is still a story about Oranmian being the one arguing with his brother. But who is this brother? Who knows who is this brother? Like, the brother of Oranmian that is mentioned as arguing with Oranmian is actually his son. And he has brothers in the stories, but the names of the brothers, of his general names of his brothers in the stories do not agree with the name of the guy sent to Oyo. So it's like, what is happening there? I don't know if it's just the sources that are accessible to me here in Poland, in Europe, and I don't know if it's just those sources that suck, or if the historiography of Nigeria is really that bad. I don't know which is the case, because I'm not actually a historian, so I can't like go up to like a historical library and tell them to give me like the actual like historical sources on Nigeria, on Yoruba, because first off, nobody in this fucking town will have any historical sources on freaking Yoruba, because nobody in this town will care about them. But even if I like traveled to like Krakow, even if I traveled to like Krakow and started and like went to the university, the Jagiellon University in Krakow. Okay, I'm helping him search, but like, what do you want me to do, game? I'm clicking on everything. Do I need to activate detective mode? This is a joke to Viva la Dirt League YouTube channel. Nobody will understand this. More people will understand this joke than they would understand about my issues with researching your. What do you want me to do, game? I clicked on everything I could click on. What now? I can't actually talk to him. Can't click on him to talk to him. Okay, I'm gonna look this up because I don't know what's going on. Whittling Sanity. Whittling Sanity, Diablo 4. Yes. Yeah, I'm actually looking it up because I'm just confused. Haru Canyon. Suffering disquiet before this will tell him the fate of the abbot at the Orbe monastery and what happened there. What? This is not the quest. Okay, I did that. I did that. Once they roll down, continue following the path north to reach a house. Inside you will need to look for clues about Elias. At the entrance you'll find a demonic scroll and a page from Jenber's journal. Okay, at the entrance, demonic scroll. I did not found a demonic scroll and a page from Jenber's journal, unless you mean like here.
Today,
Oh,
Master Elias called at my door.
I thought I clicked on it.
I had trouble with my words, so I showed him my carvings. He said he could see my pain in them. The pain of a lonely man who had learned to hate the world. And yet, our mother, Lilith, found me beautiful. He said there are others like me as well. And together, we will build the new world.
Okay. Okay, now he moves on.
What a damn mess.
So yeah, researching anything for the history of Africa for like 12th century is a nightmare. At least unless you have like access to actual scholarly sources. Maybe like if I traveled to Krakow, to Jagiellon University in Krakow, and if I came up to their library and started asking them about sources on Yoruba history, maybe then I would be able to like determine like what really makes sense there. Or maybe if I like if there like somehow I got a Nigerian guy actual Nigerian historian who knows this stuff better, like maybe they would be able to explain to me what's actually going on there with Oranmiyan and Moremi. But you know, without access to these like very specific resources, and like if I did travel to Krakow, I would have to pay to travel to Krakow, and once I was there, the university probably wouldn't let me borrow the book for free, borrow some random rare book about the history of some random country. They wouldn't let me borrow that book for free either, so it would cost me a lot of money just to like answer the question of this chronology that doesn't make any sense.
The scholars of Orbay devote their lives to the study of forbidden knowledge.
So you know, that's fun,
The light we must
researching history of
Some the silly
Africa.
I wrote to the abbot seeking insights on Lilith. His silence is most unusual. The man never misses a chance to speak.
But you know, there is a few sources about the Yoruba. There is a few sources about them because they were the more urbanized and the more, I don't want to say literate, because like they were the more urbanized, the more like concentrated society. Meanwhile, now try to research the Hausa, because like the Yoruba went Christian later, so like some Christian European chroniclers went down and like transcribed some stuff, but Hausa were Muslim. So if there are any sources on Hausa history at this time, they are probably in Arabic. And trying to find out any information on like Hausa rulers, like Hausa clan rulers in 12th century AD, now that's going to be fun. Now I'm done.
Is he insane? I mean, Elias was an exceptional mage. He would plunge through fire and
It was a rumble less about like history itself and more about like, you know,
whatever truth he has found in Lilith.
how poorly documented some places are. Like, and I want to know more about history from all over the world. Today I was like researching Laos. I was researching freaking Laos. Laos, the country in Southeast Asia between Vietnam and Thailand. You gotta pump up those numbers. 30 minutes around. Today I was trying to research Laos. I don't know how it's pronounced in English. In Polish we say Laos. I was trying to research the country of Laos and like what was like Laos doing in 12th century. The best I managed to find out about what Laos was doing in 12th century was like, we think that like the Thai people came over there at this point in time, and they came from China, from the area of China, and like they may have been here at this point already, maybe not. That was the best source I managed to find about Laos. Like now you try to do something with that.
Burning hells! We're too late. Elias is long gone. This Genbar is our summoner.
How can you be certain?
Isn't it obvious? Elias finds Genbar alone, friendless, full of anger. So he plays him like a fiddle, offers him Lilith's love,
There is that.
part of his grand delusion.
There's that archaeologist guy
He gives him tools to express
on
his
YouTube, Milo Rossi.
Scrolls.
Milo Rossi, Mini Minuteman. I think I've talked about him on some stream at some point. There's the guy Mini Minuteman, who makes videos about history and archaeology. But no, he's like the big. My problem why I don't watch him as much as I could. Because it's mostly about American. He's mostly talking about American history. Like, and we're doing stuff about in like America in 12th century too. We're doing that too. Only, like he's like doing stuff like about like American pilgrims. Like where American pilgrims went. Nobody gives a shit about your pilgrims. Like a bunch of Englishmen came to a country. A bunch of Englishmen came to a country, murdered everyone, stole all the shit. Okay, now I'm getting laggy. A bunch of Englishmen came to a country, stole all the shit. You are seeing this lag too, yeah? So a bunch of Englishmen came to a country, killed everyone, stole all the shit. That the end. That's the history of America. Well, to be honest, there was also a bunch of other racism. There was also a bunch of other races, a bunch of other types of genocide. Like, all the kind of fun stuff, like the Trail of Tears. Because, you know... Why...
For sending Master Elias to show me
because, you know, like, why stop at... Why stop at just killing everyone? When you can just...
The cleansing fire.
Once you killed almost everyone, you can then just force all the people that are left, you can force them to like go hungry, go without food, without anything, like just go to a completely new place, like force them out. Because like, we haven't genocided hard enough yet, so we gotta try harder. That's the history of America.
Visitors.
From a European's point of view.
Did Master Elias send you?
Master Elias. Well,
And you know, I love to hear about like the actual history of America, the history of the people, of the Native Americans, the history of the people that lived there before Europeans came and ruined everything. I love listening to those stories. But also those stories are very poorly attested. Like, we really don't know that much about how the stories went.
Master Elias, hear me! Your enemies are here!
there's like there's a lot of speculation, or a lot of histories that come from a much later time. Like the Lakota people, okay? Like the Lakota people.
What's your ask?
I don't have enough vigor.
Like everyone knows the Lakota, right? The Lakota, also known as the Sioux. The Lakota, also known as the Sioux, from like French sources. They're one of the most popular, the biggest Native American nations in known American history. But here's the thing: the Lakota don't even arrive in the territory of the Dakotas. They don't even arrive on that territory until like possibly 13th, 14th century. So like if you're doing 12th century in America, the Lakota aren't there yet. The Lakota aren't they? Where are the? If the Lakota aren't in the Dakotas, where are they? Maybe they are in Cahokia. Maybe they're in Cahokia, because Cahokia was a thing at the time, and it falls shortly after. It falls in, like, if I recall correctly, Cahokia like is depopulated in like 12th century. No, Cahokia was still around for a while longer. It was like it only like got super depopulated when like all the diseases started really spreading. I think that Cahokia was still in operation until then, but like the Mississippi civilization, it had like some sort of decline in the 12th, 13th century, if I recall correctly. And this is the same point at which the Lakota may have moved into the territory of the Dakotas. So like you can like make some conjectures and connect these two spots and say maybe the Lakota were part of the Mississippi civilization and they moved north, and they have a story. They have a story about their migration north, about their migration to the territory of the Dakotas. They have a story about it. So like you can make some conjectures, connect these stuff, and like for a game, for a TTRPG, for a semi-historical TTRPG which like does a lot of magical stuff with like gods and demons and stuff, it's good enough. But it's like it's very poorly attested, so like you don't know if that's what really happened, you know.
Bad news first.
And if that was like a commercial product, guessing stuff like that could get people upset. It could get people like to complain that you're doing their history wrong. As if this is not what the Lakota were doing. The Lakota were not in Cahokia. They couldn't have been in Cahokia. Some people could come up, you know.
Elias gave us a gift, remember?
Because the history is so poorly documented, because
It requires constant
people mostly care
human sacrifice
about like European history, and to some degree about East Asian history, or
might hold a clue.
somewhat about Middle Eastern history. That's the only places
I must
people
have a
really
copy
care
of
about.
Diablo for examination.
And
Make
like
yourself useful and head
yeah,
to the Orbe
people
Mines.
didn't really
See
have
what's keeping that
didn't really have writing as we understand it there. We didn't really have writing, so that's why, like, whether in like did the Yoruba at this point in time have a real writing? I don't remember that. I don't remember that if they had like an actual side quest, Thieves Famine. Okay, I guess I'll do that, and then I'll go there. Because it's true, like a lot of the world, like, genuinely didn't have writing. And like it's no slight to them, it's no insult to them to say that they didn't have writing. Like, which is it happens a lot in history that they just don't have writing, and it's nothing against them. What is this? Okay. Did not expect that to be in here. I'm clicking on this. A. I'm pressing A. Okay. Yeah, I don't really want that. Sure, put that on 8. So you know this, the fact that they didn't really have writing in some of those places. That is the reason why it's so poorly documented. But like a lot of the history just wasn't preserved. Even when like Europeans people got to it all, like they just didn't preserve that history very well.
Low on big
Because they didn't really care. Like you check the codices. The codices that the Spanish people made about Native Americans. You check those codices. And those codices are a little bit like when the Christians try to write down the Eddas, like the ancient Norse poetry. They try to write it down, but they also talk about it like it's all demons and monsters. They talk about because this is what Europeans did all throughout history. Like Christians mostly, you know. They came to a new Christians and Muslims too. When they come to a new place, they see like the local gods and creatures, mythological creatures. They see all of that stuff and they go, "Oh, that's just demons." Because you know, and you know what's the big part of that? Because why? Here's like a historical lesson. Why do Christians compare everything to say everything is demons? Everything that isn't Christianity is demons. It all stems from maximum life, but it doesn't have life region, so I'm not replacing that. It all stems from when the monotheistic cult of Yahweh started spreading. Because as you may or may not know, Yahweh was originally just one of many gods of ancient Israel, or of the what do they call them? Not Philistines. Canaanites. The Yahweh was originally just one of many gods of the ancient Canaanites. But then comes, I want to say King David. King David comes up, and King David was like a very big proponent of Yahweh. Like he was huge on Yahweh. And he decided, this is a little bit of a conjecture, okay? Like I am making some guesses. From historical sources, which are not exactly attested. And like, if somehow there is a biblical scholar in the chat, feel free to correct me. But this is my best guess from the sources I read. That like Yahweh was originally one of just many gods of ancient Israel. And King David was a big proponent of Yahweh, and King David decided, you know what, starting from this point on, we're only gonna worship Yahweh. and we're actually gonna edit our sacred texts to remove all mentions of other gods, or at least, like, like how the first commandment goes, "You shall have no other gods before me." Because originally you couldn't have any other gods before Yahweh, but you could have them after Yahweh. As long as you worshipped Yahweh first and the other gods as less important than him, you could do it. That really was what it originally was about. But then King David comes up and he says, well, all of these other gods are fake gods, they're not real. But you know who was a huge god for the ancient Canaanites and from the ancient Israel? You know who was a huge god for them? I think I'm mixing a little bit of the... King David was the one... King David was the one who said Yahweh was the most important god. He was the one who said, "You shall have no other gods before me." He was the one who went, "You can have other gods after Yahweh, but you have to make Yahweh the most important god." The pre-exilic and post-exilic, that's what biblical scholars call it. So he says, so King David says you can have other gods after Yahweh. Why can't I talk?
Separated. My friends cut down. I won't last on my own.
And King David says, like, you know what, and King David says Yahweh is most important, but you know who was already a very popular god in ancient Canaan? Baal. Baal was a very popular god in ancient Canaan, and most importantly, it probably wasn't just one Baal. It was like, because the word Baal means God, means Lord. So it's likely that Baal was just an epithet. It was like Lord, like there was a Baal Peor. There was a Baal Peor, the Lord of the Mount Peor. The Lord of the Mount Peor, Baal Peor, and Baal Peor eventually becomes Belphegor. And there were all of these Baals. There were all of these Baals all over Israel, all over Judah. There were all of these Baals, and they finally started fighting all of those, like all these false idols, all of these false gods, all of these bowls. They start fighting all of these bowls, and they eventually start saying, like, all of these other gods. I'm not gonna jump to that. Like, they start fighting those bowls. There is like a few chapters, like in the Bible, where they keep fighting the bowls, and they keep fighting the Baals. I said they keep fighting the bowls a couple of times, so you know that's gonna be fun. So they keep fighting these Baals, and they really demonize those Baals, all those lords of different things, and those lords of different places, different temples and mountains. I don't think anything was going to be better. Like, I guess it's kind of better, the base. It's kind of better because more life on hit. But like, I don't want to remove these aspects again, so I'm gonna stick to it for a little bit. But then comes the period of Babylonian exile. So get this, the Babylonian exile changed a lot about how God and the Bible were understood. Because then comes this place and time when the Babylonians conquer Israel, and they kidnap a lot of Israel's priests and elites and scholars. They kidnap a lot of them and take them to Babylon, you know. They +1 to crushing hand. They kidnap a lot of them and take them to Babylon. And then all of these scholars, all of these biblical scholars, they sit in
You need steelwork? Hairs?
they sit in Babylon,
Good salvage.
and they're going like, like we used to believe. They go like, we used to believe. They go like, we used to believe that.
That got most of it.
We used to believe that there were these other gods, yeah, and
Plenty worth keeping.
and if the other god won, the other god was more important. The other god was better than.
Plenty worth keeping.
But now we are in this exile, and we are like on our own here. And they came to this conclusion that, well, we can't have that our God, Yahweh, has lost to like Marduk or someone. Like, we can't have that. Like, Yahweh couldn't have lost a fight to Marduk. Like, it's impossible. Clearly, the Lord is just testing us. And he's the only real God, and all those other gods are fake. All those other gods are just demons pretending to be gods because it's all part of the test. So all those other gods are like fake gods. That from that comes the conclusion that they are the demons. Is there another side quest in there in town? And that is where everything really starts to go to shit. Because for the first time, they conclude that all the other gods must be fake.
The great axe of the Oxen tribe has gone missing from the
They
forge.
conclude that all the other gods must be fake.
It is an
And from that ideology that every other religion's gods are demons, it really spins out of that. When Judaism, when post-exilic Judaism gets a makeover,
They learned their place, but remain persistent.
the Babylonian exile is also probably when the whole story of the Exodus was made up.
Sure to be there.
Because, if you didn't know that,
Demon blood stains
if you
the axe.
didn't know that,
The blood of fiends
the Exodus is completely made up.
I'm sure it is
There is zero evidence for the Exodus. There is zero evidence for the Israelites ever being enslaved in Egypt.
a barbarian of great deeds.
So that never happened. They were never taken out of slavery from Egypt.
Freed us from the Samara and proved
Moses
of a warrior
might have been completely made up, might have been some tribal elder who did some stuff maybe in Babylon. But that whole story of exile, never happened. So it's maybe the Christians have a victim mentality. That really stems from a very long history of how that ideology evolved. It's a very long history, and I'm not gonna get into. As you listen to Rachel yap a lot about Christian written books, it really is prominent. Yeah, but it's it has a history. There is a reason why it's a thing. There is a lot of these cultural plot threads that stem from one another. There's a huge cultural history there that led to that victim complex. Well, that's an actual snake. I thought it was a monster, but that's like an actual genuine snake. And what was I talking about? Yeah, post-exilic Judaism changing a lot of stuff. And I lost track a little bit what I was talking about. Exodus. The Exodus, completely made up. There's zero evidence of it ever happening. There's, like, if there were like thousands upon thousands, like the amount of people that the Bible describes as having emigrated, like the sheer amount of people they describe, if that kind of amount of people really were moving through that area, there would be trace left, there would be evidence left. There is nothing, there is zero. There's something to click on, stone, loose stone, and there was nothing in it. So like that never happened. And so what makes sense the most is that these people, like, they sat in the Babylonian exile, they sat in exile, and they imagined a story about their God leading them out of this exile. They imagined the story about their God leading them out of this exile. So it was supposed, the story was supposed to, like give them courage, give them the will to fight, to escape this exile. Because these priests came up and said, look, this happened before. See, this happened before. It totally happened before.
This place is thick with the ire of spirits.
Message from the abbot is not going to play. No? Okay. There's like some kind of side quest randomly in there. So like it's likely they just made up the whole story of the Exodus to give people the courage to fight. Moses? Maybe Moses was one of them, writing that stuff with them, and he wrote a story about himself leading them out of the Babylonian exile, and he invented the whole story about how he's totally going to do this. And they later placed this story in like 1200 BC. What does this want me to do? I don't even see any like markers to do stuff in here. This is like way over there. Okay, so we're not doing that. We're doing this, the main quest. I thought the side quest would be like happening somewhere in here. So like it's really staggering just how much of the biblical stories are just completely made up. I remember when I used to think that the
Horodrim Elias and I are not to be disturbed for the remainder
I accidentally interrupted the guy screaming by clicking on a book.
Should he appear, escort him to the sacristy at once.
Lock the doors!
What about the others? Diablo!
Do as I say!
So you know, I used to believe this stuff happened. Like, even when I was like starting to really doubt religious stuff, even when I was starting to really doubt, I still believed that like there's something happened. I still believed at first that like there was an exodus. Like there was an exodus. Like maybe it wasn't magical. Maybe like Moses didn't have superpowers to like part the sea. But I thought like at least it happened. Turns out no. Like when you realize that just how much of it is completely made up. It's Crusader Skull. Okay. That monk was loaded. 1,000 gold. Like some of these monks are just loaded. What were they doing with all of this money? There's another corner here to visit, and there's nothing in it. So now it's really I don't know if I want to say disheartening, but like it's really peculiar just how much was made up. It's completely made up.
I was so excited when I walked into the sacristy. Finally, my time to enter the archive and explore the knowledge of darkness. Now, I'd give anything to forget what I've learned.
I may be starting to get a little bit done with the rants about history and religion. We're starting to get a little bit done. I'm slowly running out of topics there.
We're under attack!
Like, why do I hear these people's screams here? Like, when I was in the monastery in Baldur's Gate 3, and I was in the monastery there, and there was a statue that was yelling things.
Lo, the great beast Tathamet was struck down, and its blackened husk sank below the abyss.
There was like a statue yelling, and the statue was yelling because somebody cast a spell called Magic Mouth on the statue. Why are we hearing screams here? Because Diablo, I guess. Because there's the diabolic stuff going on. That's why we're hearing the yells. But you know, like now it brings me to another topic, because like I remember the monastery in Baldur's Gate 3. And like I had a thought. Like when the Githyanki invaded the monastery, like they killed all of those monks, I immediately thought, why didn't the ghosts of those monks in the Rosimorn monastery, why didn't the ghosts of those monks haunt them? And I immediately thought, maybe they did, but Githyanki being Githyanki, they didn't go like, oh no, this place is haunted, we need to leave. Or, oh no, this is scary. The Githyanki being Githyanki, they just went, hey, somebody get rid of those ghosts. Get rid of those ghosts. Get me a cleric and banish those ghosts immediately. We have a school to build here. And like they didn't give a shit that they were being haunted, because Dungeons and Dragons, the world, all of these magical worlds, like Dungeons and Dragons, they have like such crazy magic. Like they really wouldn't care about a haunting. They get haunted. They just go like, okay, just get a cleric. Like it changes the perspective of the world so much. But meanwhile, people playing those games, they want the world to stay the same, in spite of these like world-changing revelations. They like people like just genuinely don't want to see the world be genuinely affected by the things that make it different. Like, resurrection is surprisingly cheap. Like, it's like super expensive. Resurrection is still super expensive for most people. Resurrection is super expensive for most people. But there's like super rich people in Baldur's Gate 3. And like they can afford 5,000 golds worth of diamonds.
You rabbit! Why did you let him in?
Like there are like super rich people in Baldur's Gate 3 who can afford spending 5,000 gold on a resurrection. Because of the limitations of the because of the limitations of the spell itself, people would only ever die, like at least the rich people would only ever die from old age or natural causes. People will only die from old age and natural causes. So like you literally wouldn't be able to murder a rich person in the D&D universe, because like you'd murder them and then like murder the witnesses, and then they just resurrect.
I shall keep it safe.
They just resurrect the victim and then the witnesses, and then they catch you because the victim is alive again. And like and you could argue, is that even really murder if they can just get back up without too much of an issue? Is that even still murder, or is it like just like aggravated assault?
Diablo, open the door.
Like this is like a very good question.
He took the forbidden knowledge.
This is a very good question. Like,
It's all right.
is it still murder if the guy got back up?
There's no way out.
You know?
Knowledge remains, must never leave. And to evening I shall keep
And
it
people
safe.
don't ask those questions. People don't want to ask those questions and just want to
The archive.
continue with a world that looks normal. Okay, that guy died very dramatically. Like he was like weak. He was like weak. He was sitting here like, oh yeah. He was weak, and then he dies, and he suddenly like, and flops over. He really had to go with the show. If you're gonna die, die with your boots on. I'm not gonna actually sing it. Like I do like end up singing the Iron Maiden songs when they are playing in the background for me. I do end up singing them. But like when I hear the actual song, I can like a little bit. I can sing it a little bit because I can follow the actual song. I'm not gonna do it without the music, because that was going to be horrible. Because I like don't really remember like the music. I remember some words. I'm starting to remember some words to the Iron Maiden songs. There are I'm like listening to like a mix, like a randomized mix of Iron Maiden albums in the background when I'm doing stuff, and I am starting to remember like bits and pieces, and when one song ends and another song is beginning, like I already hear in my head another prophet of disaster. This ship is lost. No point asking when it is. No point asking when it ends. No point asking who's to blame. I'm probably mixing this up badly, but you know. +2 to crushing hand. It gives me this +2 to this bonuses to crushing hand. I'm like, what is crushing? Do I have crushing hand? I don't have crushing hand, so that's not really very useful to me. Like maybe it's like a gorilla skill. It sounds like a gorilla skill. But I'm not doing gorilla, and it keeps giving me stuff for gorilla. So you know, I am slowly imprinting. I'm slowly imprinting the sounds of Iron Maiden in my head. I'm like making up for all the lost years when I haven't been listening to any music. Like I'm making up for it by like imprinting myself with it by hearing it for like 12 hours a day. I constantly hearing Iron Maiden for like 12 hours a day. Iron Maiden and 2 albums from Bruce Dickinson's solo career. There's all the I have on my playlist. I have all the Iron Maiden albums and A Tyranny of Souls and the Mandrake Project. Is that what it's called? The latest one, the latest album from Bruce Dickinson that he was making for like 10 years. I have that on my playlist, constantly playing when I'm doing stuff, like writing stuff, whether for the game or for the client. The clients on Fiverr slowed down a little bit now. They did slow down a little bit when I extended the delivery time to 5 days. I don't know if it's they slow down because of that, or they just happened to slow down at the same time. But for a few days it was pretty nuts. I was getting like 2-3 new orders per every day. On one Monday, on one Monday, I got like 4. I think it was this Monday. I got 4 new orders together. So that it was completely nuts. But I enjoyed it. It took a little bit of effort to catch up with it. To not be, I wasn't behind. I was never behind. But I was like felt a little bit pressured when I had like 4 orders that had to be completed within like 3 days. So I felt like a little bit pressured at that point. But you know, it was fun making all those, writing all of those backstories, writing all of those characters. It was definitely very interesting, and I hope it will continue, at least every once in a while. Abbott, we need to leave now.
No, I deserve to.
I hope it will continue, like at least, like, you know, at least
Where is Elias?
at least 1-2 orders per week, at least.
The ruin of Sanctuary was
Because you know it's fun coming up with all of that stuff,
only I could help.
and you get
He is going to
then you get a few
suffer
bucks,
lesser evil.
so you know.
He took all he needed.
That's why I said, like on the last stream, that people should like
My scholars.
should see like
He
exactly what
murdered
people are selling on Fiverr, because you might not even know that you have a potentially like usable skill that you could benefit from. Chat, are we still alive, or did we stop paying attention when I stopped talking about religion? Because nobody said anything since I stopped talking about religion.
Shall be shared among the children of Lilith, and no secret shall be kept from them. And the liars and learned thieves of the world shall perish in their regret.
Okay, meet up with Lorath and Kid Bardu. I accidentally opened reliquaries. And I can't leave dungeon because it's technically not a dungeon, but a story location. So we have to make the long walk back. So we can talk. You were making food, okay. But you were listening, or I was talking to myself. Like, how many views do we have on the stream now? 7 views total, which is, you know, very popular. 7 views total. But yeah, I'm not doing this for views to like be very popular. Well, listening, cool. I'm not doing this to be very popular. I am doing this because I am playing this game, and I might as well, while I'm playing this game, try to get something, some like YouTube, I'll say progression out of it while I'm already playing. Yeah, I am for the most part enjoying Diablo 4. I was not enjoying Crusader Kings 3 a lot when we got to it. The thing with Crusader Kings 3 is, like, I enjoy Crusader Kings 3 in theory. I enjoy it in theory, but when I have to actually play it, the game just throws out so much bullshit at you. So much stuff that just doesn't make any sense. Or like the way how much the game randomizes stuff, and it supposedly randomizes stuff, but then so much of this stuff seems so rigged against you. Like this is like a whole paradox thing, like what Paradox does a lot. Like I have been watching on occasion this Europa Universalis YouTuber called the Red Hawk. I have been watching him on occasion, and whenever he would whenever he would play like some small country in the middle of nowhere, the colonizers would immediately be going to that place.
Elias and I are not to be be disturbed for the remainder of our meeting, except by the arrival.
The colonizers would, like, he plays in South America. They all go to South America. He starts playing a tribe in Australia, and suddenly the colonizers are in Australia in the 16th century. Like, and otherwise, like, when would that ever happen? Like it really feels rigged. Like, and playing Crusader Kings 3 myself, yeah, it definitely feels like it's very rigged. Like it's rigged against the player, because like the game thinks it's making things more fun for you. Because that's what the game is trying to do. The game is trying to make things more fun for you by making them more challenging. But what it actually does, like when you are playing like a small duchy in frickin' Pomerania, it doesn't make the game more fun, it just makes it impossible. Because you're playing a small duchy in Pomerania, and suddenly you are getting invaded by some random ass Viking who just pulled out of his ass more troops than there are civilians in all of Scandinavia. That's not fun. Like that's just the game just presses a fuck you button. The game just goes, no, fuck you. You lose now. You lose the land you fought for so long. That's the paradox game balance. You randomly get hit with a unwinnable fight. Rare temper manual. Movement speed for seconds after killing an elite. Maximum life, more life regen. So we're doing that. And the shrine. I have. Okay, random snake monsters. Okay, let's use this shrine. Yeah, some of these shrines are cool. When you just make it just start exploding. Okay, guess we're getting back to Ket Baradu. World boss spawning in Skarsgård. Yeah, it can spawn. I don't care. Okay, he's over there now.
What did he take?
Scrolls from the Forbidden Archive. He has the means to summon a lesser evil.
In what? Which bloody one? Where? Oh, we don't know, of course. Elias could cover the steppes in blood, but a lesser could wipe out the continent. Or worse. Come. Elias's pet demon is inside. Pray it leads us to it.
Yeah, it's funny how they describe these like great evils, these lesser evils. Like they describe these characters as being like so horrifically powerful. And then
perhaps you were too young. The prime evils you should know. Diablo.
Like they describe these characters as being so horrifically powerful. But then like one dude comes up and kills them.
Each of them has ravaged humankind.
Like even if this one dude is like super powerful, it's just one dude. Like if there must be like if there's one dude who can do that, there must be a bunch of these running around. So if there's a bunch of these running around, these lesser evils are never wiping out a continent. They're not gonna wipe out anything if there's these like God level people are just running around randomly, spawning randomly in the world.
He asked me endless prying questions. Frankly, I should be more concerned about...
It's like suddenly it really makes
one so connected to Lilith is quite a risk.
all of these great evils feel much less great when a single dude can just kill them. And it happens all the time.
It was protecting that fool. Genma.
This is Elias's work. But where is he? The answer lies in the stomach.
Okay, I feel like that's not good for your health.
This is delicate. A soft noble's hand. Elias would have to feed this thing with more than fancy boots.
And like the
Son.
Or daughter.
and the hand is just
This is wrong.
and the hand is just undigested,
Bears the crest of
intact,
the ruler of the royal house.
inside the demon's stomach.
Former ruler.
Obviously.
That's enough, old man. The dead deserve respect.
The dead deserve nothing when the living are in danger. Now Gulran has a new ruler, and we have Elias to thank for it.
The dead may be worthless to you, but that medallion could bring peace to those still mourning.
Fine. If we are to find Elias, then we must also travel to Gulran. Meet me there.
I guess I'm thinking too critically today. Because I'm looking at the situation and thinking about the demonic digestion and how that works.
Oh, and avoid the city gates. Too many cannibals. Go to the cliffs. We'll find help there.
Okay, that sounds fun. Avoid the city gates, too many cannibals. Okay. Now this gets me like way out. So I guess I might as well explore and do some side quests. What time is it? Oh, it's almost time. And I didn't like time really flew just talking today. Should I start like I'll do one side quest. I will do one side quest. And then probably finish for today. Like time really flew today, like when just talking about topics. Time flies when you rant. Yeah, maybe. Every bush just spawns like veiled crystals. Like maybe for a part of it, maybe I was ranting, but also I was just I was like genuinely talking about the topic. I guess I do need to like go through this section to be able to reach this place. So I need to go this direction first. Okay, another mini ball. Skeleton Guardian. Yeah, at least like the conversation got to a lot of different topics, and they didn't even talk about Mormons today. Didn't even get to Mormons yet. There's a lot of gems in like a single ore chunk. Randomest chest. Hope it's not going to be like collect 20 bare asses again. Because that wouldn't be a very fun note to end the stream on. See, like I managed to get to the... I pretty much managed to get to the end of the stream without... doing that update that Diablo wanted me to do. I'll do the update before Sunday. And like I was checking the poll and it was like pretty even between two options. I don't remember which two options. The top two options, and I forget what I put in the top two options. I think it was like the Forgotten Races of 4th edition of D&D. The Forgotten Races of the 4th edition of D&D, and what are these? Like maggots. I couldn't even like attack those maggots here. The Forgotten Races of 4th edition D&D and the like the religion, the presentation of religion in American versus European fantasy. It's also a bit scary because like it's a huge topic that you can really get wrong very easily. So it's also a scary topic to get into. But I already like delayed it to work more on it for a week, so might have to do it next week. Find the Zakaron trail marker in Khotun's Reach. I'm pressing. It was probably a little bit of a waste. What is that? Seaside Cavern. That's not Khotun's Reach. Khotun's Reach. I will got even on the Ragged Shore, not Khotun's Reach. Seaside Cavern. What's this going to be? Randomly popping up Belial? World boss spawning soon in Scotland. Let him spawn. Like, I don't care. I'm not going to be chasing world bosses. Not at this level. Like, I'm here to finish the story. And when I finish the story, maybe level more classes. It's currently 14 barbarians waiting for the world boss. Okay. Are barbarians just this popular? I wouldn't be so sure. You have a shouting match because every barbarian triggers a shout every 5 seconds. Okay. That's what barbarians do. I guess it's a kind of similar to the fight we were having in our game. When we had like a bunch of warriors and primals who all shout a lot.
You deserve this.
Level 50! Cool. Cellar complete. This doesn't really look like a cellar to me game. You know, whatever you say. Rival. It's just a rival. Soul Protector. We are soul survivors, soul... we're soul invaders, soul survivors, is that how it went? Also, Bruce Dickinson solo career song. From the... I think that one is from the Tyranny of Souls. Immortal Barbarian build is like the most broken shit. Why? Because they yell so much? Is that why they're so broken? Okay, now we find the Zakarum trail marker in Khotun's Reach. But where is Khotun's Reach? Read the first trail marker, okay. Towards the light where the remains of our folly wander the twisted paths, seek the high place. Okay. On the overlook. Okay. The overlook, so higher. I'm pretty sure I've been here before. Up the coast to where we watched our brave crusaders set forth to the western lands. So like we're getting some clues as to what happened to the crusaders. No, because you are literally immortal. So you know, if I like playing Blood DK in WoW, maybe that's what I should have been playing. But yeah, I wanted the Spiritborn because it was my class, the class I invented. With a full build, you don't even get one shot by random shit. Well, that sounds crazy. Oh, I had a talent point I forgot to spend. Touch of Death, sure. And, well, you deal like trillions of damage, okay. You who have followed the path, speak the words of power given by the light and commune with the divine. The words are in a strange script and appear to move on the page. Okay. Made the huge demon run away from me. Didn't even get hurt. Okay. I said I would finish one side quest and be done. So I guess we're done. Can I like look where are other possibles like waypoints? Like what time is it? 2, 3? Like I could do something else still. Can I find like a random waypoint somewhere in the zone? Like, it feels like there should be more waypoints. This is already Kyrgyzstan. Yes, there is like one waypoint. But is this like Fractured Peaks or is it Hawazar? This is no. This is in the first zone. I didn't unlock. Meet Lorath or Gul'ran. So maybe I'll go to Gul'ran. I'll just go to the next quest area and actually complete it on.
Need more time.
Yeah, of course, trample all the maggots. I'll go to Lorath. Oh, That's a lot of spiders, okay. Okay, more spiders. Yeah, I am running out of topics at this point in time. It's past 2 AM, so really shouldn't be talking at this point in time. Suddenly I'm getting a lot of enemies. Okay. Are we far? Oh, it's still a long way to it. Oh boy. I hope there is like some town between here and there. If it's like really that far. Oh, okay. That's one way to ambush. I know there is a random event down there, but I'm not doing that. Just want to get through. That's a lot of quill beasts. Just the one guy and like 5 million quill beasts. I should also check the reliquaries before I leave. Wayfarer's Folly. Okay. Are we close to the city yet? Oh, I got this to claim. We are almost there, so we can Who is this dude? Look at these guys, just literally just jumping in. Too bad you're fighting against me. Like if you were fighting against anyone else, he'd be so cool. But no, you're fighting me, so it's, you know, you're not as cool. Where did these come? Like, it literally just spawned on me. Do I really have to go there this complicated way? Oh great, another rare. It's a lot of bandits, a lot of cannibals in here. Also, this guy is huge. These gorgers, they're absolutely huge. How did they get so big? Do you get so huge from eating people? Should I be eating people to get bigger? Yeah, I think you do get bigger, but just mostly just sideways. And it's not from eating people, it's just from eating in general. So I don't know how these guys get so big. Okay, now I have to go like here.
Can't carry anymore.
Oh, I can't carry anymore actually. But I'm like almost there. Oh, shish. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make a town portal. I'm gonna make a town portal from very close to another town. Get rid of a bunch of crap, then like go back to outside of the other town.
Skills unmatched. You'll see. That got most of it. Good salvage. Plenty worth keeping. Win favor, my friend.
Okay. Silent Bane. More life on hit and more weapon, you know, his bonus weapon damage and the vigor on hit, on kill. Cycle damage. So like it's not bad, maybe even, you know, better if it wasn't the legendary here. I'm not gonna replant the legendary every time.
Oh, she's gone. I can't believe it.
Okay, Lorath, first I'm gonna pick up the waypoint, and then I'm gonna talk to you. I'm here, Lorath.
Good of you to come. Pity you didn't bring an army or siege work.
Elias is here.
Gone to the palace, no doubt. Behind the high wall with the gates barred behind him. We can't get through.
Psh, siege works.
You know who can.
I can probably just barge right in.
Sure.
Just break through the walls by just punching them hard enough.
How long has Oyun been missing? trapped in there with those butchers? She may be the only one left who knows of the tunnel.
If she's still alive. If this tunnel exists at all.
You don't trust me.
Of course not. You're a thief. Useful years ago, true. But it's clear you have some other reason to seek this. Or you.
Not your business.
If I were to look for Oyun, where would I start?
She has a house in the market square. We were supposed to meet there before, but I couldn't get close.
Tried to come back alive. Not convinced this Oyun.
Okay, enter Guran and search for Oyun.
Have a little faith for once, old man.
Ah, so it's a dungeon. So yeah, I'm gonna just barge right in. And I guess this is like you just literally just go down here. Okay. Can you like change the angle? I don't know if you can. Like the game changes the angle here for me, but like controls. Skill slots, force move, force interact, evade. You can spar the mount. Didn't know that. Yeah, I don't think you can like change the angle of the map. Yeah, don't think you can. Anyway, I should check like I got that, unlock the rewards and reliquaries. Can I get anything I want in here? I have 4 of the things, and so I could like get this, but I don't really care about it. I don't really care about any of those. So like maybe collect until I can get that platinum and then use that platinum to unlock the next thing. I don't know if I really want to bother. Overwatch. Can I get anything that I actually want? Yes, I can get these. So I'll get that one. Okay. And then maybe I'll get this for whenever I play a druid. So like what are these icons? Like sorcerer, necromancer, and what is that? Warlock? I think it's sorcerer, necromancer, and warlock. Yeah, no, I'm not picking that up. I don't need and I don't want that. Okay. I'll go here where the angle of the map is normal. And yeah, I guess we will end it here now. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the stream. And this will be ending here. And like yeah, we still waiting on poll results. They're like fairly even on the polls, and nothing to talk about for the next video. But we will get another stream on Sunday as usual. The Tuesday streams, will I be playing that every week? Probably not. I have done like 2 now. Well, maybe I want to be playing them every week. So like it might not be like a regular event. We'll see. But But I'm currently still locked into the game. I still haven't seen the tree from which to reap the benefits. I don't know if I will reap any benefits from the tree before that expires. Yeah, we will continue. I'm gonna title the next stream something like we don't need siege weapons, we have me. Something like that. That'll be a fun title. But yeah, this should be it for today, and I hope probably not unless you finish the game by next week. Yeah. So yeah, probably not. So yeah, this should be it for today. I hope you enjoyed the stream, and I hope to see you next time, my dear hamster.